According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can't.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1
5592 KYND.
The kind of talk that inspires change.
The views and opinions expressed on KYND 1520 talk programs are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its owners, management, other hosts, or advertisers. Show topics on this station may include conversations on any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practices. KYND, a Synergy Broadcasting Company.
Good morning.
Houston. It is a beautiful morning, and we have the sands and the balmy breezes blowing through, and we are getting ready to take flight on the road to wellness with Dr. Fisher and Dr. Khan. Welcome, everybody. Grab one of your favorite morning beverages, whether that's a nice green drink or a smooth cup of tea, and join us for what's going to be an amazing conversation. Good morning, Dr. Fisher and Dr. Khan.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Traffic was wonderful this morning, right?
Yes.
Last week, we were able to just kind of swoop right on in, right?
That's right.
Nice
It was,
commute.
We had a great time.
yeah, it was smooth this morning for me. It was
Same
good.
here. Same here.
Well,
I noticed how sunshiny and bright it is outside today.
and I'm just more than grateful to be here because on Monday I came back from off the slopes.
Oh,
And I
that's
was
right.
glad I made it back with all my.
That's right. Now
in
so
place.
yeah, we got to hear about this. So
Yes,
you were out in the slow, and
I did.
how did that go?
You know,
How-
when you're from the South, you don't know what snow is,
No.
nor do you play in it.
No.
okay.
So, we got a chance to go snowing, and unfortunately, my son came back with a broke arm. I thought I was going to have a broke
Wow.
wrist, but I survived.
Wow.
Just an injured wrist, so I'm good. But I encourage anybody one time.
One time.
One time. I think I fell probably 10 times. And it's funny because when I was en route to the airport and the driver was from there, he goes, he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to ski." He said, "Okay, well, just don't ski." I was like, okay, now I understand what he meant. It is inevitable. You will fall.
So, but Doc, because, so I skied back when I was in my 20s. I gave that up for Lent about 30, 40 years. But were you on the bunny trail, or were you just went for
I was
like
on
the
a flat
black
trail,
diamond?
and I still kept falling. I was on the kiddie trail.
You were on the kiddie trail.
I was on the
I thought you
kiddie
just
trail.
went for the gusto and hit the black diamond slope right
no,
up front.
I hate
Well,
to embarrass myself, but I was on the kiddie, the flat terrain.
Wow.
And still
Wow. Well, we are happy to have you back, and I hope your son has a speedy recovery.
So I'm nursing him back to health. But see, he got bold. At 25 years old, they're adventurous.
Yes.
I chose the skis with the 2 sticks so I can balance myself. He decides, the skis are just too much. I'm going to do the snowboarding.
Snowboard.
He decides to snowboard. I'm like, who does that? I mean,
First
with
time,
no
first
no
time.
handles,
First time
no
out.
sticks, no nothing. And he was just having a ball, and whoop, there he goes.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that,
So,
but
yes,
but I'm sure
He couldn't have
lessons-
injured himself with a better mother.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
I was like, let's
gonna
get
say.
those minerals out and get
That's
those
right.
greens
That's
going
right.
and the
That's
protein.
right. That's right. That's right. Wow. Well, that's good.
Which-
And now, Dr. Khan, you were at the event this weekend, the
Yes,
martial arts
yes.
event. How did that go?
It was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful
Yes.
experience. We had a grand time. That morning from 9:30 to about 1, we had the martial arts tournament. And if you wanted to be entertained, seeing the little children doing their forms and competing, it was quite very entertaining.
Wow.
Yeah, we laughed a lot and smiled a lot. It was a lot of fun. And then from 5 to 6, we had meet and greet. We just socialized, and then at 6 p.m., at 6:30, we started the banquet, and we had proclamations from the mayor. We had entertainment, live entertainment. It was wonderful.
Wow.
And we had the award. So everybody those who were recognized, and I recognized and was inducted to the martial arts Hall of Fame.
The
alumni.
Dongwu Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Wow.
alumni.
Mhm.
So I was
That's
nice.
inducted. So it was a wonderful weekend. Wonderful weekend.
I was kidding last week when I said this is probably the safest place on earth. You got all these martial artists here, and I'm looking at these pictures, and this is a
Yes,
group
sir.
of very physically fit men here.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
goodness.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So-
Well,
so-
that's wonderful. So you do this annually, is that
Annually.
right, Doc?
With the mayor proclamation is going to be an annual state classic tournament going to be held in Lake Charles every year in January now.
Nice.
Outstanding.
So-
Outstanding.
so it
I
was-
see Dr. Fisher's in here as an honorary martial artist.
Yes. I've gone through the training.
Quiet
I
as
learned a little
Quiet
something.
as it
something.
kept. Dr. Fisher has been trained.
Okay.
Also.
Okay. Well, I know she's dangerous. Now I know I really can't mess with her. So this is
I could
great.
probably look dangerous. I don't know if I'm very dangerous.
She has a very elegant kick too.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. This is a beautiful young man. Look at this. That's gorgeous. Where's my camera here?
Beautiful.
That is
sir.
one
He
cute.
Yes, sir.
That is one
Pretty.
cute little guy.
And he is very serious too. When you see him do
Wow.
his form, it's very impressive.
Wow.
And I was mentioning to the parents who came on that Sunday morning, early in the morning, I commended them for taking the time to help ensure that the future is a balanced and a wonderful place for us. I said, because what we're doing this morning, we are preparing for the future, and it's going to be in good hands because we're giving these young people what they need, control, balance, responsibility. So once they become adults, they can contribute to society in a very balanced way.
Yes.
Very balanced way.
That's outstanding.
Oh, yes.
That is outstanding. Well, I certainly commend you and really appreciate those contributions because, these days we have a lot of conversation about our youth and what to do with young people.
Right.
When you have a program like this that really teaches them discipline
Yes, sir.
and self-control,
Yes,
which
sir.
is unfortunately a quality that is sometimes lacking amongst our young people.
Yes.
And if nothing else, then the ones that learn martial arts can kick the other ones in the butt that's sagging their pants, right?
Yeah, keep them in line.
Yeah, just keep them in line.
Yeah.
No, but that's actually outstanding. So congratulations on a great event.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we are joined this morning. This is a room full of beautiful women. Dr.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Fisher
Absolutely.
absolutely surprised me this morning. I walked in and I saw all these smiling faces, and it is wonderful. So, Doc, tell us a little bit about your guest and your topics for this morning.
Well, I think I'm gonna introduce my guest. It's interesting because I was very excited to get a call from her. She is definitely a KYND listener, so I was like,
Excellent.
absolutely, we got to have you come out and share. But there was an instant connection between myself and my guest, which I'll introduce her shortly, because she's a colon cancer survivor. And what I share with her is that the reason I do what I do is because I am the daughter of my father lost his life to colon cancer at a very, very young age. And so instantly, of course, I was going to be energetically pulled into whatever it is she was doing because her mission and goal was to raise awareness. And she said, there's so many foundations for so many other things, but we really need to raise awareness on colon cancer. And so I was just so elated to hear what she was doing and to share with her that I started my journey because I lost my father to colon cancer my freshman year in college, which was devastating because I felt like there should have been a better way, or there had to be a better way.
Yes.
But due to knowledge deficit, which is what our community is lacking of, just the information of knowing what we need to do when our loved ones take sick or become ill. The traditional route, there are so many other routes that we can look at as an option. So what I want to do is I want to introduce Rose Johnson, and I know she has some of her board members here. I know they said it's early, but we trying to get you excited this time of the morning and get you at all because colon cancer is so huge, and
Yes,
it is truly, truly one of the second leading causes of cancer. And I think the reason why it's probably not number one is because we have to credit it to so many new screenings now, with checking for polyps and, the colonoscopy and things like that, which makes that so exciting. But we still have a lot of people that are suffering with colon challenges, whether it be diarrhea, whether it be constipation, whether it be just bouts of back and forth. We just need to raise the awareness because I tell anybody, this is something that I'm a huge advocate of. All sickness is introduced through food.
That's right.
It's introduced through food.
Absolutely.
So I tell people all the time, how important it is. That's one of the first things I tell people when they come into my office is we always deal with digestion. So, Rose, I'm going to turn the floor over to you because this is your baby and this is what you're passionate, and I'm just going to let you lead, and I'm going to follow wherever you go because I think this is huge for me. Being that I'm such a fan of the importance of colon health.
Yeah, the reason I started a foundation because I was diagnosed in 2002 with stage 4 terminal colon cancer. When I went to MD Anderson, they told me that with that diagnosis, it's about the lifespan is about 6 months to a year to live. So they informed my family that I need to get my affairs in order. And so I turned it over to God. And I said, well, okay, God, this is yours now. It's nothing that I can do but just stand on my faith. And I went through 7 years of treatment and recurrence of colon cancer. But now I'm cancer-free.
Congratulations.
And I feel that my story will be able to help someone that's listening. The reason why they haven't found out why so many people are having colon cancer, especially African Americans. They're supposed to get tested at age 45. I did get tested at age 50 because that's what I was told, that 50 years old was the time that you're supposed to get tested for colon cancer. But actually, African Americans are supposed to get tested at age 45, start testing at age 45.
That's good.
So when I got tested at age 50, they did find polyps, and they removed the polyps. So I felt like at that time that that's all I had to do. They recommended that I needed to come back within 5 to 10 years. So I didn't return because the prep was just so awful to take. And I said, well, I had my test at age 50, so I'm good to go. And I'm very self-conscious about my health. I always try to eat right and exercise. But by the 10th year, the cancer, I didn't have any symptoms of any type of, no symptoms at all.
Right.
And then I found the cancer was protruding out of my navel. And I didn't know. I went to the doctor, and they said that they didn't have no idea what that was. And I went to about 7 different doctors, and they said, well, we don't know what it is. So when I went down to diagnostics, they said, well, I think you need to get an MD Anderson as soon as you can because you have cancer. And the word "you have cancer" is an awful word to hear. Anybody that goes to the doctor and says, you have cancer, that's a big blow because you don't know whether you're going to live or die. You don't know whether how long you're going to live. You don't know what the chemotherapy and radiation. That was a new era to me because I lived at MD Anderson. That was my new home.
Wow.
And so I'm trying now to get people to know that a simple test, just a simple colonoscopy, will be able to save your life. We'll be able to take the polyps out, and you won't. It's 90% preventable.
Yes.
Right.
With the colonoscopy.
Yes. Absolutely. And what you said, I think, is very important for people to know is that it produces no symptoms until it's advanced.
Yes.
So that's why we have to be proactive with our health.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And that's why that's one of the number one foundational supports that I do when people come into my office over 40 years old. That's the number one thing is to deal with digestion. They'll come in saying, I can't sleep at night, I have gas, I'm bloated, and I have acid reflux. The number one thing I go to at 40 and over is digestion immediately because everything is introduced through the mouth. That's where it comes from.
The thing of it is that people think that colon cancer, well, actually myself, before I learned better, I thought it was a old man's disease. That's what I thought, and not to know that, God give us all a colon.
Yes.
So with the lack of knowledge, that's what the problem is, the lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And people not knowing, and we're losing our loved ones because of that. And that's not acceptable for us to lose our loved ones for the lack of knowledge.
That's right.
And with the point of they not having, with the financial burial.
Right.
That's not, it's unacceptable for that.
Miseducation. Food is it's a focal point for most folks on the planet. Because it's one of those things you must consume in order to stay here, and not knowing properly what to consume, that's a part of the miseducation. So a lot of the food, things we call food, which are not food that we consume, long term, it causes these imbalances, these diseases, this cancer. It's a whole list of names of diseases we can go to. But because people understand that there are certain foods you should not consume. Right. And some things people call food, it look like it, smell like it, tastes like it, but it is not food. Right. So miseducation is a big factor. I advocate that today's consumer must become an educated consumer. It's on the individual now to understand how to take care of themselves. And that's one of the reasons why we're here, to pass on this awareness, this knowledge, so that you can take care of you. Because the body is not designed to become sick. Believe it or not, folks say, well, everybody gets sick. That don't mean it's because it's supposed to be, because everybody's doing it. No, so I think that a big factor is the education, lack of knowledge, and we got and I tell clients who come that you are responsible for you. When all else is said, you are responsible for you. So the next question I ask is, what do you want to do about it?
That's right. And you know, as I go out to different health fairs and different places that I go to speak, I had a man come up to me and said, I lost my 18-year-old to stage 4 colon cancer.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So colon cancer don't have an age.
No.
It's not now. More and more younger generations
I believe that.
are having colon cancer.
Yes.
So it's got to be in, like you say, it's in the food that we consume every day.
Because it's very acid producing, and that's what we have to understand. The food we're eating is very acid producing, which begins to mess with the intestinal walls of the colon. And so when the intestinal walls are infected, they're inflamed, they're irritated. Many people are not aware how importance of maybe just taking a probiotics a day to just put some good flora into the tummy, and to also keep it clean, to clean the colon out. You know, I had a lady come in yesterday and say, someone keep telling me I should do a colonic. You know, should I do that? So I basically explained to her the importance of just keeping the colon clean.
So,
very important.
So let me ask you this, Doc, and I know that well, actually with Dr. Khan, you've done colon hydrotherapy,
yes, sir.
But there is, and I've done it on a couple of occasions, and this goes back to colon health. There's a process whereby you do a coffee enema.
Yes.
Where you're using black coffee, warm, and you use that old pink bag that Mama had that no one knew what it was.
They still sell them in Walmart for $4.
That's right.
They still around.
You know, you would use that, and you would essentially hydrate and do an enema with black coffee and warm water.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. There are many ways to cleanse the colon. There's not one way. There are many ways. Coffee enemas is one. A salt enema is one. Just clear water is one. You can use different herbs as one. Being a colon therapist, I think that, and it's not happening, I think people should have poop conversation. You know, how often you go in the bathroom?
Hey, we don't.
We don't have that.
Well, I know a lot of people that talk a lot all the time.
Watch out. I saw the sensor getting ready to press the button. I'm sorry.
But seriously now, we should have conversations.
About your bowels.
Yes.
You know, how often are you going? Ask your loved one. Ask them, how often you going? Are you having difficulty? I'm going to give you some signs to see your loved ones having problems with bowel movement. If they go in the bathroom and they're taking a couple of magazines, they having a problem. Because you cannot read the bowel movement down. You can't sing it down. You can't talk it down. So you got to take out something to read and sit. They go ahead and have a bowel movement. They are having issues. These are signs. If you go in the bathroom after them and it smells so wonderful, you run out of the bathroom, that means that whatever that's been in the body too long, it literally rots. It smells like something died. That means they're having colon problems.
But that's why people don't talk about it, because it's an embarrassing situation. Even husbands and wives don't talk about their symptoms.
But that's so wrong. It's a natural biological function.
Right.
And we
That
all,
must happen.
do it.
Yes.
But look how much talk it is about breast cancer. Do you hear anything about colon cancer? Football players,
No.
they wear pink.
Right,
Baseball players, they wear pink. Nobody wears blue. Nobody want to talk about
Because
colon
we've been
cancer.
taught that it's an embarrassing topic, and it's not an embarrassing topic.
Yes.
If you're not having balance and frequent bowel movement, it can shorten your life.
That's right.
That's right.
Very
we,
simple.
We
Well, I
have
must be
to.
gonna live
We
a
have
long
to
time.
have.
Yeah.
We have to have that as an open conversation.
Right.
Well, we're up against our very first break, so let's take a moment. Let's take a break, and then let's come back and kind of drill down a little bit on some of the experiences that you all have had and what you're trying to do with this foundation. I think it's great.
Yes.
You're listening to Road to Wellness with Dr. Fisher and Dr. Khan. We'll be back after these short messages.
According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need the technology to be there with you when the police can.
Assure Once. One touch gets assurance. Download your free app today at your local app store. According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the United States each year. Abductions, DWIs, and violent crime can happen in seconds. When you need help, what can you do? Introducing Assure Once. With just one push of a button, it contacts 5 lifelines instantly. It activates GPS so they know exactly where you are. It starts recording audio and video.
You need to take
Back. Houston, you are listening to
According to the FBI, over 1.1 million crimes occur in the
We
United
are
States.
having an absolutely important and life-saving conversation this morning about colon health and colon cancer. Now, I want to invite those listening and those who are viewing our live stream, share. We want you guys to connect, because this kind of information is the kind of information that we want to hear a story come back to us that says, hey, I listened to your show on February 2nd. I went and got my colon screening, and it saved my life. I would love nothing more than that.
Absolutely.
And we have listeners that are listening. Let's invite one into our conversation. Good morning, Janelle. You're on the air with Dr. Fisher and Dr. Khan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oscar, Dr. Fisher, Dr. Khan.
Good morning.
Emil Muhammad. I was listening this morning, and I wanted to call in and share. This is a great topic that you all are discussing, colon health.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make a comment concerning prevention, the preventative side of colon cancer. And the two things that I wanted to touch on was making sure that you're getting enough fiber in the diet.
Yes.
And one way to increase the fiber, of course, is eating fruit, because it contains mostly fiber, and it passes through the digestive system very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to get a supplement or some other food source for fiber, psyllium husk is very, very good.
True.
And then also I wanted to make a comment about optimizing vitamin D levels, because, of course, in most recent years we've been told to stay out of the sun. So we're about 95% of the population is vitamin D deficient. And, of course, vitamin D is critical for all mucosal membranes for health. And so if we were to screen almost every cancer patient, their vitamin D levels would not be optimal. So getting a good, clean source of vitamin D would be definitely helpful. And then that way, it's something to do on the preventative side, so that you won't be 10, 20 years down the line going to get a colonoscopy and being told that you have malignant polyps in the colon.
Yes, good.
So that's what I wanted to add.
Great information. And the D that you're referring to is D3.
Right, the
Specific.
D3.
Exactly.
And we offer a live source of D3. That's excellent. This is Gaynell. Gaynell is a holistic practitioner here, one of the best in Houston. And so I'm glad that she chimed in to help share and spread the awareness of what is needed for the body.
Yes, outstanding. I thought I was listening to someone that really, really knew what they were talking about. Look, we don't just get an average caller that understands D3, psyllium husk, and I miss Gaynell. I miss your smiling face in the studio. You got to come by and see us sometime.
Absolutely,
Awesome. Well, that's Miss Gaynell Muhammad, a partner of Dr. Fisher, and it is wonderful to have you. So in kind of going back to something that was said earlier, I'm just curious. You all mentioned there really is absolutely no symptoms. There's nothing that would give you some indication that there might be a problem?
Well, there are some things that we can look at. Of course, if there's any changes in bowel habits. One thing I normally hear is a ribbon-like bowels. When you go to the bathroom and you release, it comes out almost like a ribbon. Yeah. That's one of the symptoms. Of course, rectal bleeding is another indicator that you want to make sure. And then just bouts of constipation and diarrhea, just back and forth, are other indicators that something is going on. And, of course, abdominal pain. All those are just really red flags that you really want to assess and find out what's going on and why you're having these bouts of changes with your bowels.
So, Ms. Johnson, in retrospect, do you recall anything that would have given any indication that maybe you didn't think was something back then, but it was?
Well, with the lack of knowledge, we tend to diagnose ourselves. If we have constipation, we said, well, we didn't drink enough water, or we didn't have no fiber, and we diagnose ourselves. If we have a little rectal bleeding. We said, well, maybe it was my hemorrhoids that's
Yes.
maybe bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
So with the knowledge that I have now, I know what to look for. But back then, before I didn't have any knowledge of what to look for, then I would just I didn't have any of those symptoms really.
That's what I was
at
going
all.
to ask. If you had
No,
any
I
of
didn't
those.
have any of those symptoms.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
We have so many educated consumers now. And that's the thing. That's why I'm glad we're doing this, because many people will begin to analyze what's going on with their body, just as she did. And when you know your body, you feel like you know what's potentially going on. And now with the explosion of the internet, everybody's piecing their health back
They're
together.
Googling themselves to sickness.
Yeah.
They're like, I know what this is.
Exactly.
Really?
They just Google the symptoms and then they'll start buying supplements, over the internet. Yes, that's a good
When
point.
you go to the restroom, do this happen?
Exactly.
So well, try this one. So we're comparing how we react from our bodies to our
Right.
peers.
It's true.
Well, there was an article this past week in the Huffington Post, and it's important to really recognize they were talking about the value and the importance of practitioners, skilled practitioners that understand how to assess what's really going on with your bodies. Now, the paradigm in this country it's got to shift. In the Western civilizations, we somehow believe that you wait until you get sick to go to a doctor. And then at that point, it's now going to be post-care of a situation that has already occurred. What we advocate and what we strongly advocate in this program is the importance of preventative as well as proactive behaviors that can preempt a situation. And I posed a question yesterday in one of our health shows. If you knew in 2020, that's 3 years from now, that you were going to have some catastrophic situation that occurs in your life, like the little C that Ms. Johnson had, would you take the steps today to prevent that? And, absolutely everybody would say yes. So the next question is, then why don't you?
Right.
Why don't you? So, folks, I want to implore those that are listening to really give some thought to this. I'm going to give some phone numbers out. I know we often in the middle of our show get this. How do we get in touch with Dr. Fisher, Dr. Khan? Dr. Fisher can be reached at 713-520-8188. Again, that's 713-520-8188. We'll give that number again at the end of the show. And Dr. Khan can be reached at 832-821-5426. Again, that's 832-821-5426. Dr. Khan, are you still practicing and doing the colon therapy piece?
I do consultation as part of my coaching process. So those who are listening, if they will call, I can direct them to how they can go about cleansing them colon. My thing is educating individuals now.
Right.
Educate, empower the individuals so they can bring about balance and harmony and extend years into their life virtually.
Absolutely.
That's the objective. So those who will call me, I will share with them how they can. I have a process, a program for cleansing and detoxing the body and cleansing the colon and how you can maintain it. Not to keep you with me forever, but to get you independent of me.
That's right.
And so you can stand on your own and take care of you.
That's right.
As early as lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. I've had a major illness too as a child, so that's why I'm so passionate about health, because I know what it's like not to have it, and most people do not. So we'll guide it toward taking your health for granted, which we spoke earlier before the show started, and that's the wrong approach. Your health is one of the most valuable things that you have, and once you lose it, everything stops. Your life come to it's a screeching halt. Because you're incapacitated. You can't do your dreams put on hold. Your loved one, your life with your loved ones are put on hold. And if you do not come back to balance, you will transpire and leave this plane. So yes, I do have a program available for those who are interested in how they can detox the body and cleanse the colon if they will give me a call.
Yes. And you said something very powerful a moment ago, Ms. Johnson, when you said that after you got that diagnosis, it ushered in a new era in your life because your life became about spending days and weeks and months at MD Anderson.
Yes.
And that's
Yes, it did. It's just a horrible feeling to have, they call the C word. Once you go to the doctor and they said you have cancer, there's so many thoughts running around in your head. You're going to leave your children. What are they going to do without their mother? And just all type of things. I don't have a will. I don't, you're just running around thinking everything. Well, in 6 months I'll be dead because that's what they told me. You're terminal. You won't live. If you make it 6 months, it'll be a miracle. And right now, MD Anderson told me when I go back to the doctor that I should have been dead 10 years ago. But God had a purpose for my life.
Right.
And I'm challenging every survivor that's out there that have survived colon cancer to get proactive.
Yes.
Come and tell your
Wonderful.
story.
Yes.
Come stand with me so we can get the
inspires.
word out. I mean, the American Cancer Society says about 140,000 people will be diagnosed with colon cancer.
That's what they say.
And 50,000 of them will die from colon cancer. So it's just not acceptable for this to be happening.
Because it doesn't have to happen.
It doesn't have to happen.
The survival rate is
It's
high.
a preventative disease. And we must get the word out. We have to. I feel like I'm so passionate about it. I'm so happy that I met up with you, Dr. Fisher.
I love that.
And because the thing of it is, we don't know. Lack of knowledge. We have to educate our people about having, getting screened, get tested. And colon cancer is not a respective person. It happens to anyone. I had a neighbor of mine. She's 40 years old. She has stage 4 colon cancer. And she didn't even know. She just kept going to the doctor, and they'd tell her, eat more fiber, until she was persistent. And she kept going back until she found out she was stage 4. And most of the times, when the symptoms are not there, it will advance into stage 4 because it goes to the other organs in your body. And people just need to know. They just need to know. They need to be.
So I was curious, and I'm not sure where you were going to go, Dr. Khan, but Dr. Fisher, what is the procedure for that colonoscopy when somebody goes in to get that done? Because some people might just be afraid of that. You know, we were talking about prostates a few weeks ago, and men are all scared to get the finger. Well, guess what, guys? That's, the alternative is worse, right? So what's that process? What could someone expect when they get that screening?
So when they go in and they have the screening done, now there is a more simple screening process, which is basically just a fecal or coat. And all that means is that your primary care provider will give you a simple card. You'll place a small sample of stool on this screening card, send it into a lab. They'll do just a basic screening. If it comes back showing positive for any type of blood, then the next step would be to have a colonoscopy done. And the process for the colonoscopy is they'll send you home with a solution to drink, and that's just basically to clean out all the walls of the colon, so that once they go through the colon with a small little micro camera, they'll go through and visualize the colon to see if there's any polyps or if there's any abnormality in the intestinal walls. If there's polyps, depending on the degree of it, they can actually remove those polyps and take care of that. Other than that, it's a relatively simple procedure. However, sometimes it can be a little scary because they do put you under a little anesthesia, just to allow you to be able to rest and to be comfortable while they go in and they're able to visualize the colon.
Well, I had the test done recently.
Okay.
And I think my biggest fear was, is it going to hurt? Because I hear, oh, my God. And actually, I went in, and the worst part of the whole procedure was drinking the form.
The solution.
That was the solution. The cleanser. It doesn't taste good, but I had it. 15 minutes later, I think I was out Me and medicine don't work. So, but it took me a minute. So when I did come through, they asked me how I felt, and I'm like, I'm waiting to have it done.
It was over.
And it was already over.
Yes.
So it was no pain involved. And I recommend it to everybody. I think that's now my conversation now that I'm with Rose B. Johnson Colon Cancer Awareness. That's my whole conversation. So I don't even talk about the things that are probably, I don't know, I'm in fashion, but I first want to know about your colon.
Absolutely.
So that's every man, woman, whoever, have you had your colon checked? So when I learned that 90% of this could be avoided, I mean, 90%.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a high
It's
number.
amazing when that colon is clean, how much more energy you have,
absolutely,
how much more productive you are, how you feel so much better.
Right.
So when
right.
you're sluggish and you're tired and you're fatigued all the time, just think, what did I eat?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And sometimes people see your skin it glows, and they're like, "Boy, what is that?" Well, it's because my colon's clean.
That's
right. Now, if I could just, and we'll talk a little bit about the foundation before we close out, and we've got a little bit of time here, but I wanted to ask this: what about the emotional aspects? Because one of the things we talk about on this show is that every physical ailment has an emotional causation. And I can tell you that with regard to the emotional causation of a colon issue, sometimes, and it's not 100%, but in some cases, it's holding on to old hurt and old anger. And the colon is a place where we retain and can hold on to that. So what about the emotional aspects?
One of the reasons why that is, what you just said is quite true, that we hold on, because in our lower abdominal is our second brain. It's our second brain. So that's why people say, oh, I feel it in my gut. I got a feeling in my stomach. Is the reason being that's your second brain, because you have a lot of nerve endings that ends in your stomach, abdominal region. And so, and knowing thyself, as the old saying from ancient Kemet, Egypt, man know thyself. Females receive. They say, women are emotional. Well, that's the way you're made. You're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, understand that you take a sword. You got to know how to scream and block some things. Don't take in everything. You got to know how to say, oh, no, not that. Yes, this. And know how to release at the end of the day. That's why Qi Kun is a good thing to do. You know how to breathe and relax. Get the attention off of it. Because if you don't, stress can create environment for your physical where it can cause these other diseases like the little C and other things to manifest in your body. So yes, we do hold on things. You got to know how to let go of stuff. And don't take everything so serious. A quick story. There was a guy who, when I was in corporate America, he's about to retire. He went to work for the telecom industry and came and worked in NASA for a while. And I always ask these guys from the lead, I said, look, what words of wisdom would you leave as you depart? Because I want to survive this experience. You survived, so what did you do? He said a couple of things. He said, one, if I had to do it all over again, I would not try to do it by myself. Wow. He said the next thing is that, remember that they ain't going to shoot you, they ain't going to kill you, and they ain't going to eat you. He said, so don't sweat the small stuff. Yes. Because if any one of those three, it is small stuff.
Small, and it all is.
It all is small stuff. You determine your reality.
That's right.
You are in control. You shape, mold. I have affirmation I say every day that you shape and mold your reality. You have to claim that and say the day is going to be a wonderful day. You notice, I said the day is the sun shining outside. It's a beautiful day. But the sun is not shining. You can't. It's not obvious. But to me, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. I'm breathing. I'm here. I'm in the company of good people. Hey, this is wonderful. That's my approach, and it is just that.
Well, I think you said the most important piece to me is knowing that I won't do it by myself.
That's right.
Exactly.
That I do have someone that I could talk to. Yeah, help me when I'm down. Push me.
Support.
So I think that's the most important thing that I see that I know that Ms. Johnson's foundation bring in, because she is a supporter, and she goes with you to have your exam and so forth, and she's there 24 hours on the phone. So you need that support.
Yes.
So can we talk about that just a moment? So the Rose B. Johnson Colon Foundation, will tell us a little bit about your mission and your support and what you do there.
I'm going to let my vice president tell you about that, Ms. Sherilyn Fisher.
Yes, who's been conspicuously quiet here. Ms. Fisher, let's hear you tell us a little bit. Let's swing that around. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, very good.
Good morning. The Rose B. Johnson Colon Cancer Awareness Foundation is just that, awareness. We bring awareness to people. We're trying to reach out to as many people as we can, because it is 90% preventable, but you have to know that. And the Rose B. Johnson Foundation, if you are no insurance, uninsured, come to us. We actually pay for you to have your colonoscopy.
Wonderful.
We pay for your deductible. We pay for your, if you have a annual fee at the first of the month, your insurance has that. And we go with you. We hold your hand through the process. So that's what we do. You know, there's a lot of foundations out here who basically do research.
Right.
But it takes years for that research.
Yes.
In the meantime, while we're waiting on the research, people are dying from the disease.
That's right.
So what we do is we go out to make sure that you have what you need, that you go out and get the colonoscopy, you know, and we pay for it. You know, we make people aware. Everywhere we go, we were at the IRS, and we were asking the security guards, look, you look like you're about 45. Have you had your, you know, and everybody.
But I'm going to tell you something, and this is interesting you say that, because I did a presentation years ago. I'm a naturopathic holistic guy myself, right? Right. And I did a presentation at the IRS, and I will tell you that there were some of the sickest people there. And the reason is that there's so much negative energy that is associated around the tax time and the situation, that we had a lot of really sick, angry people, because everybody that walks in there, has any of us ever walked into an IRS office happy? We're already, I walk in there pissed off. Oh, I got to pay taxes. Well, come on, you guys. So truly, what you're saying is really true. Now, what I love what you all just said is that this foundation is a proactive foundation about helping individuals. Now, we've got just a few minutes left. There's an event coming up on March the 4th, if memory serves. Yes. Tell us about that.
Well, before the March 4th, we have the February 18th, which is Sipping Tea with a Purpose. Okay. And that is, we're having a tea, and the purpose of the tea is sipping tea with a purpose. In order for us to pay for these colonoscopies, in order for us to pay for the things that we do, we need to raise money. So that's the purpose of Sipping Tea with a Purpose. On March the 4th, we're having a walkathon at Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land, Texas. And we're asking people to come out and support us. And if you can't walk, support someone that can walk, because we have to have the funds in order to pay for these colonoscopies and, you know, for the transportation, in order to put these health fairs on, to get out there in the communities and make people aware of what we're doing. So those two, the Sipping Tea with a Purpose is February the 18th, and the walkathon is March 4th.
How can people connect to you? How do they connect to you?
They can reach us on Facebook. We're on all the social medias. I can also give you a phone number that you can reach us as well, which is 832-945-1426.
Say that one more time.
832-945-1426. Or 713. Oh, I'm sorry, 281-701-5029.
Okay, so say that one more time.
Go ahead.
It's 281.
Yes.
701-5029.
Yes.
And we want to let everybody know that when they come out to the walk or Sipping Tea for a Purpose, all the funds that we raise go direct to the people that do not have insurance, underinsured. We take care of those people 100%. And so I'd like for everybody, I'm challenging colon cancer survivors.
Yes.
Please come and stand with me so we can make a big impact on the community about the awareness of colon cancer. You do not have to die from colon cancer.
And if you can't come, we do take donations.
Yeah.
So you can go to the website, which is www.
RoseBJohnsonFoundation.org.
Rose B. Johnson
No, it's
Foundation.
RBJohnsonFoundation.org.
Okay, so that's rbjohnsonfoundation.org.
Yes.
Okay, folks, so you heard it here. We've had an opportunity to talk to these wonderful ladies. Let me commend you, and it's so important to say that so many cancer organizations have these big fancy balls, right? And they pay some really big salaries to folks. Right. And the reality is that to the point of what you all do, you're using these funds directly to help survivors or those who are suffering. So we want to applaud you. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming in today, sharing this with us. We're about to wrap. Did you have a quick point there that you need?
Yeah, I have a quick point. I have one doctor that is partnering with me for a low-cost colonoscopy, and I'm looking for more doctors in the Sugar Land, Houston area that would want to partner with me as well, so we can do more patients. Because this particular Dr. C is in Pearland.
Okay.
But people don't mind going to Pearland, but I'm looking for more doctors to come and partner with the organization.
So calling all doctors. So those listening, you know doctors, you know folks that might be suffering silently with some ailments in colon cancer. You want to reach out to this foundation, rbjohnsonfoundation.org. Go find out more. You've been listening to Road to Wellness. Those who would like to connect with Dr. Fisher and Dr. Khan, give them a call. Dr. Fisher can be reached at 713-520-8188. Again, 713-520-8188. Dr. Khan can be connected to at 832-821-5426. 832-821-5426. Want to thank everyone for coming in. Great show today. Folks, share on social media. Push this out. Let's get the word out. Thank you so much. Continued success with your foundation and growth. We thank you for joining us on the Road to Wellness today.